and this is gonna sound, I think I said this before, but I don't really give a damn, bro. I'm fucking over it. I am incredibly careful with girls that I talk to, because basically every girl I talk to does fall in love, which sounds extreme to say, but it's true. I had girls that I've talked to for 4 days, and then I've stopped talking to them, or like slowed down talking to them, and they've cried. It's like, I've laughed at them, bro. I'm like, it's 4 days, bro. What are we talking about, kids? What's going on? It's like, oh God, I don't know. It just is wild. Yeah, I'm very easy to talk to. That's one of the things. I'm very easy to talk to. I'm gorgeous. I can't say that with a straight face. No, I'm very easy to talk to. And I don't know. I'm just quirky or goofy. I'm non-threatening. Let's just put it that way. You wish you were that guy? It's not hard to be that guy, bro. It's not hard to be him. You can be him quite easily, bro. I think the best thing, or I can tell you, let me teach you guys. This is a two-step process, 10-step process, how to be him. How to be a likable, easy to talk to guy. I'll tell you right now, you will be him. I believe in you, bro. So, step number 1, with regards to being that guy, is raise your eyebrows a lot when you talk. Now that I've said that, it's never gonna leave your mind, because raising your eyebrows is the number 1 way to be inviting when you're talking to somebody. It's the first thing, raising your eyebrows. And it sounds like, it looks like I'm just going like this now, but I've been talking like that the entire fucking night. You're not like that, that's extreme. That is extreme. But raising your eyebrows is inviting. Yes, that's the number 1 thing. Because, and I swear like on my life, if you've ever talked to anybody, ever, which you've never talked to people in your life, I guarantee this is a lie. But if you've ever talked to anybody, I'll say at the gym or anything at all, if it's a complete stranger, there's 3 things that you'll do to somebody if you don't know them, okay? Number 1 is if someone you don't know looks at you, and it's just a guy or whatever, you go like that, give them the nod down, right? If there's a guy that you've seen a couple times, maybe you know their name, maybe you don't know their name, but like you've seen them, so it kind of feels weird to like just not make eye contact, you go up, right? Those are the 2 things. Complete stranger, down, respect, up, what's good, like we're kind of friends, okay? That's 1 and 2. The other thing too, and this is the first social cue, realistically, is to know if someone is willing to talk to you or inviting, willing to be your friend or whatever, is the eyebrow raise. And this sounds like troll, but if you've ever, and I'm sure you've done this if you go to the gym, right? Or anywhere where you listen to music, you have headphones in. If someone's asking you something, and let's say they come from like this angle here and like you're looking this way, if you have your headphones in, you don't go like this. I can't do this with a straight face. There's no way. You don't ever go like this. You don't take your headphone off and just look like mean mugging at them, bro. You don't do that shit. You'll go, eyebrows are up. Why? Like, huh? What's going on? Need help? Mom, please? No? Okay. That's what you'll do every single time. We'll do the same thing too. I'll tell you right now, if you raise your eyebrows, you can't hear better. Just like if you squint, you go, what? You can't hear better. There's nothing. It does nothing. However, when you raise your eyebrows, you can look this up too. You can literally look this up. It's telling someone that you're non-threatening, raising your eyebrows. Sounds too easy, but it's the truth. I promise you. Oh man, it's wild. You just mean mug, bro? I can't do it, bro. It's too wild. Also, being able to laugh at yourself is another thing too. I can laugh at myself. I make myself laugh like crazy because I'm fucking nuts. I just am. It sounds like, oh, just smile a lot too. It's like, well, smiling is inviting. You have a resting mean mug? I definitely do too, bro. Actually, yeah, I definitely do. I can say for me though, I would say my resting face more often than not looks like I'm gonna start crying more than I'm mad. I look concerned about life when I'm just sitting doing nothing, bro. When you talk to people, if you're in a situation, or even now, here's the thing. With me, you're gonna think I'm forcing it now, honestly. Oh, he's raising his eyebrows for dramatic effects. Like, no, bitch. I'll raise my eyebrows if I fucking want to. It's also something that even, as far as people that are likable, PewDiePie does this, KSI does this, Mr. Beast does this. Like, even people like Logan Paul and Jake Paul, they do this. Whether or not you like them, like, here's the thing. There's some things as far as context of what they're saying you just don't like. I'll say Jake Paul is someone who's not likable based on his actions or what he does, but how he acts as far as his charisma or how he talks and stuff like that, I can understand why people would like him. You won't think I'm forcing it? I'm just saying you think I'm forcing it now because we've watched these videos. Now it's just gonna feel like, yo, he's just doing this for the sake of doing this because it's It's on your mind now. This is one of the things that happens during coaching as well too. I'll tell people like, oh, you roll in all the time or whatever, or you get caught for this thing all the time. So when they go into autopilot mode and they're doing those things, now it feels like they just always do it. And then now they're aware of it because they brought it up. Do I just raise my eyebrows more often, or like when I'm asking questions, like looking at someone? I don't know. Like, here's the thing. I'm not picking words to raise my eyebrows on. It's not like, how's it going? I'm not doing that kind of shit, bro. I'm out here just doing normal shit. Like, even that, I say normal. Like, I'm just saying, it's when you're saying that something is genuine, I guess. If you're being genuine, you will genuinely raise your eyebrows. That makes sense. Like I said, I'm doing normal shit because I believe that it's normal. You know, I talk like that because I'm fucking insane. I even did that too because I am insane. That's crazy. He's nuts. Oh man, out of his mind. Actually, out of his mind. There was more to it. Yeah, bro. I just damn crazy, bro. He just is. Would you say slight hand gestures are good in a conversation? Yeah, of course. When you're doing hand gestures as well as something else that I saw, you typically speak rhythmically and you'll do rhythmic hand gestures with how you're speaking, right? Sometimes it's for the sake of getting a point across or for emphasis or whatever you want to call it. But like if someone's just talking, doing shit like this, it's like, what's going on, bro? Why are you doing this? But if I was like, today is a crazy big day for me, that seems normal. Versus being like, today is a crazy day for me. It's like, what the fuck? Who talks like that, bro? I don't think I'll do hand gestures. It has been proven, I guess, that having your hands like in your videos or when you're talking to somebody, if you're talking with your hands, it is proven to show that it just makes you more charismatic as well too. As far as like if you're trying to be once again more inviting, having your hands this way versus this way is more inviting. Having your hands like this, not necessarily to have your hands up while like my camera is very cropped, but like just having your hands open, like having your hands like that. He's insane. Having your hands down, but like that, open, showing that you're welcoming. It's like asking or like opening your hands up, opening yourself up for a hug or whatever. You're just like showing. It's really fucking weird psychology, but like, what is it? Your vital veins are here. This is why this is dark, but whatever. When people slit their wrists, they go this way because that will fucking kill you. But if you show this part of your arm to someone, it shows that you're not afraid of them. You're showing them that I don't feel like I'm in danger, and this is how you show it. It's really fucked up, but that is the truth as to why people will show this part of their arms. Like when you're talking to someone, having open hands. But yes, there's so many little like small psychology things that's like, that's why for me, I'm sure if you've seen on TikTok or whatever, you'll see like, it's kind of a joke, but also not a joke. But like there'll be videos of girls that'd be like, me shooting my shot. And the girl go like this. And that was the girl shooting her shot. And realistically, that is the truth. It's the truth because if you know that was it, you could capitalize if you wanted to. A girl is never going to stare at you ever because they're scared of being caught. The small glance is enough. I will say that if you stare at a girl, or not even stare at her, but if you look at her and you catch her looking at you, then that was it. That was GG's basically. There's more to it, I suppose, because there's also like not necessarily body language. Sometimes people just look in a direction that just happens to be at you. Like your eyes are also attracted to motion. That's why, for example, TikTok or like kids videos or whatever, there's always tons of shit happening on screen to keep your attention for longer, right? It's like, that's why these videos that have like text at the bottom, people watch those ones longer because the text is constantly changing and your brain automatically reads things. If you put something on the screen, you can't ignore what is on the screen. It's just there. It's gonna feel weird. I think what you should be doing, instead of trying to make yourself a certain way, you should be trying more to pick up on other people doing these things. That's what I'd be doing if I was you. Trying to pick up on people doing stuff more so than yourself trying to force it. Be like, I'm gonna be welcoming. Just be like this all the time. It's like, you don't have to do that. It's more so like, whether or not you talk to people all the time or not, doesn't even matter. You could even be doing it with your own family as far as like picking up on them. There's like another thing too with regards to like, I guess, energy matching, where it's like if you come to somebody with a problem, your voice typically will come down and become much softer. And if they're gonna try and take it serious or like try and be there for you, their voice will also come down as well too. So like imagine, let's say for example, you come home from school and you say to your mom, you come home from school and you're like, Mom, I need to tell you something. And it's kind of bad. If you said something like that to her, she'd also be like, okay. Like, she would probably do that. Like, what happened? Like, she'll do that voice as well, too. She's matching your energy versus being like, Mom, something advertisement is kind of bad. And she's like, that's perfect. Let's talk about it. She's not going to do that shit, bro. So that's another thing, too, as far as being able to read, can I even tell this person this thing? Of course, with your parents, not ever going to be like, something bad happened, get fucked. That's not going to happen, bro. It might, probably not. But like if it's a friend or a stranger or something like that, then of course, probably not going to tell something bad. I'm just saying, like, this is an example of how you're trying to match someone's energy. You can tell if they match it back, right? So let's say, for example, if I go to the gym and I say to somebody, let's say I go to the gym and they say, like, I'm checking in at the gym. They say, like, how's it going? And I say, it's going only okay. And I say, why? What's wrong? What's the matter? They're trying to cheer you up right there on the spot. They want you to come up to them. They don't want to be like, oh my God. Oh, frick. They're not going to do that shit. They might. Probably not. Or they might be like, oh, okay, like, sorry to hear that. Like, kind of going down like that. Like, they're coming down to you. They don't want to be down there because you're like depressed or sad or upset or something bad happened, whatever. But if that's what happens, that's what happens. But on the other side, let's say if you go to the gym and they check, what? I don't know what's going on.
What do you mean by that?
They check you in and they say, how's your day? And you're like, today is the best day of my life. They're gonna be like, why? What happened? They're gonna be like, yo, what the fuck? If you do that to someone, they'll start smiling and they'll get hyped. They will get hyped because they're energy matching you or tone matching you, basically. These are other things that you can just kind of pay attention to, right? Because a lot of these things, if you're trying to pull them out of somebody, or not even pull them out of somebody, you might be pulling them out of someone by accident because of the demeanor that you carry within yourself or how you go about, I guess, conducting yourself, how you speak when you're talking to somebody, when they talk to you. If every single time someone talks to you, you're always down in the dumps, basically like Eeyore, and just sad and like low and slow voice and all that shit. And then down the road, they're like, you should smile more. If they ever say something like that to you, they're basically saying indirectly, why are you always miserable? Right? Because they're not actually going to say that, why are you always fucking miserable, you piece of shit. I'd say that. I wouldn't say that. I might. I wouldn't. They're saying something like that because of how you are acting. On the flip side of things too is like, let's say if you were to say, let's say you're always upbeat, they would say like, oh, it's my favorite whatever. My favorite, they wouldn't say favorite member at the gym, because this is a weird thing to say. Like favorite person that comes in. Like every time you come in, you brighten up my day. Everyone's happy to see all this stuff. They're saying that because of how you're acting. They're not gonna, like, if you come in and you're like, you scan your thing, you're like, all right, get the fuck out of here. They're like, that's my favorite person. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. They're not gonna say that about you. It's gonna be like, okay, just go in, just go. So a lot of what you put out there is also what you get back, which sounds like cliche to say, but it's the truth. Well, that's the thing too, bro. It's like, are you down all the time? I will say this, if you're down, that's not the same thing as being tired. Because when I go to the gym, I'm basically either tired or trying to die. Like I'm always the most gross person ever at the gym, just working hard. So it's like, it looks like, just based on how I'm presenting myself as disgusting, basically, that no one should be talking to me because I have my music in and I'm working hard and I don't want to be interrupted. Meanwhile, if someone came and talked to me, it'd be totally fine, right? But I'm not presenting that that's the case, if that makes sense. And yeah, no, I know, you said that something was up like a little bit this month, and that's different, bro. Like that's going through phases. That's also just part of having emotions as a human being. I'm not saying you have to be like a robot where you're always in the best mood and you're always hype and you're always happy and always smiling. Like that's not, I'm sure that could be the goal, but you don't have to be like that. If you're ever feeling not great, then you're not, then that's how it is. Everyone's been there. The thing that's also interesting about this is there's consistency, like a universal standard of consistency with regards to these charismatic traits, because it's not like someone speaks one way and like that's charismatic, then someone does the complete opposite and like that's also charismatic. Like, that doesn't happen. Like there's ways that people will speak that can be considered like they command respect, and there's also people that are like charismatic, and there's people that are like you don't take them seriously because they just are goofy or whatever. There's people that are like terrified and scared or whatever, and there's other people that are like frantic and miserable or whatever, so you don't want to talk to them either because they're just always like the time basically bite your head off. So there's different types of things that come out, but those always look the same. It's not like someone talks with their hands and is like, I don't know, eyebrows up and upbeat and smiling and stuff, and you're like, fucking hate this person. It doesn't really happen like that. It's very consistent. So it's like if you learn these traits or you start to ingrain them in yourself, then you'll be portrayed in that way. I would say this, I wouldn't necessarily fixate on raising your eyebrows as like a super important thing. It's just something that you will know that you're not forcing yourself to not do. Yeah, I think it's like, I don't know what the exact breakdown is, but it's like, I think it's like 18% of what you say is the actual words. And then I don't know what the breakdown is, but it's like 18% is this, then some odd 30 something percent is, I don't know, let's say 32% of it is the inflection in your voice. And then 50% is your body language and facial expressions. It's something like that. So yeah, your body language does matter a lot. I was gonna say, for example, for you guys too, if you really wanted to try and get some extreme examples of when your tone of voice or body language or facial expressions change, think about how you would talk to a police officer versus talk to your best friend versus talk to a teacher versus talk to a waiter or waitress versus talk to a 5-year-old versus talk to a dog. Like, these things all change how you talk completely. Like, if I was, let's say I was streaming right now and you guys were all like in kindergarten, probably wouldn't be covering these topics in the first place, but I would be talking a lot, I don't know, more.
I don't know. I'd be talking a lot more like this. Like, hey guys, how's it going? I'd be doing that type of shit.
But I'm not gonna do that shit. I'd be doing that type of stuff if you were little kids. Like, well, why is that? It's because a high voice is considered not threatening. Women have high voices basically their entire life, and women have high voices just like how kids have high voices. Having a high voice doesn't necessarily mean that you're weak, but it means that you're non-threatening. Versus if you have a deep voice, you're typically more threatening or dominant or assertive or scary, I guess you could say. You command more respect, right? That's why when people will make fun of someone, be like, oh, this person hasn't even hit puberty yet, this person's balls haven't even dropped yet, or whatever, XYZ type of insult to say your voice is high, meaning you're not a man, or you're non-threatening, or you're a wimp, or whatever. That's why they will say things like that. I've said this in the past too, and this is, and I'll say it again, kind of like what you said before, the whole idea of like not wanting to talk to a lot of people or whatever, is like, I just know that who I am and how I am. If I talk to people, they will fall in love. Actually. And I don't want that. Actually. It sounds pompous or arrogant or whatever you want to call it, but it just is the truth. So that's why I haven't talked to anybody, bro. Because I don't want that to happen. And I'm saying that from experience. It's not me just like being cocky or arrogant or just thinking, oh yeah, I'm just the greatest in the world. I don't think that's the case. It's more so that I know how good I can make people feel. I know how, I guess, warm I actually am. And if it's someone that I don't want to hurt them, or I don't want to have them take up all my time, I would rather just not engage, because it is just automatic. But yeah, I don't know. That's one of the things that's like, for me, I like to, maybe this is why I do more conversation stuff. What's he talking about? More conversation type stuff on the channel, because these discussions are fun for you guys. They're fun for me as well too. And it's like, this is one of the things that like, it transfers into Smash so much with regards to the ability to condition people and make reads. Also being able to see someone's habits and break them down. Like, you think you can't tell your own habits in your face? What do you mean by that? I don't know. Then you can't tell what you're talking or what you're doing in Smash? It's like, I can tell both, bitch. I just can. I kind of wish I had a montage of me getting people to laugh in my coaching sessions within the first like 20 seconds. There's a reason why. It's subconscious, but I know that it just works at the same time. Like, if you notice in my coaching sessions too, if someone's like really uptight or like nervous or shy when when I'm coaching them, I will always point out if someone teabags. Always. So it's like, that will get them to laugh every single time, because it's so serious and then it's just so not serious. And it's like, they just find it funny every goddamn time. When we start off coaching sessions too, I'll always say, all right, so first things first, we're just gonna fight to the death. People just find that funny. I said that, I've probably said that 1,000 times. All right, so first things first, just want to fight to the death and just see what your habits are like. I say it every time with someone who's new. And I'll get a gauge as to what their character is like right from that. Because I'm like, oh, okay, and like they'll laugh a little bit at that idea, or they'll just like start dying laughing sometimes. Or they'll just like say nothing because they're just still like in nervous mode. In which case, then I gotta call out a couple tea bags. It has to be done.